Morning, everybody. What a blessing it is to be gathered collectively. Can we just clap for that? Coming back together in this way. Finally. All right. So here we go. Listening is not only about the normative ability to hear, it is a transformative and revolutionary resource that requires quieting down and tuning in. That's a quote from this new book that my partner back there got me called Undrowned: Black Feminist Lessons from Marine Mammals. So my story today starts off with a very unassuming day in 2019. I was at work in the lab running an experiment, literally same old, when all of a sudden, out of the blue, my body felt like it was on fire. And quite literally, it felt like my nervous system was inflamed, like my synapses were fraying at the edges, and I had this electromagnetic charge that was being dispersed throughout my whole entire body, and I had absolutely no idea how to control it. But simultaneously within that awareness, I had another feeling that this sensation was a memory. And this memory had made passage through time, through the bodies of my ancestors, and made it into mine. Listening asks us to acknowledge what is being communicated directly to us in this present moment. And what was being communicated to me at that time was that my nervous system had been in a chronic state of agitation for a really long time. And it was unsustainable at that point. And it was imperative for my health and well-being that I start the process of calming my nervous system down. And then 2020 happens. And it seems counterintuitive that the events of 2020 would nurture that process. But it's within these times of change and uncertainty and chaos and fear, it's within these times that take us out of our body, that we root into the earth, that we ground into the physical, sensual form for support. Listening invites us to access the wisdom, the intelligence, and the divinity that's inherent to this body. And so one of the ways that I started to access this intelligence was through pleasure rituals. Now, I use the word pleasure as an acronym to describe how I feel about it. So pleasure is the presence, loving energy of awareness, softly unveiling and revealing everything. And rituals are the practices that create the conditions to open the pathway of communication to the divine and to spirit. And so by bringing in these pleasure rituals into my life, I was introducing softness into my system. And that softness allowed me to start to feel safe in my body in a world that tells us that it's not so. And this safety enabled me then to start to explore the subtleties of the world around me and my body and my being, like observing the cycles and rhythms that are all around us, listening to deeper emotions, starting to pay attention to more subconscious thoughts. And I was able to listen to the subtleties of the voice of the divine. Because in this world that is so loud, the divine is in the quiet and it is poignant. So I was cultivating this relationship with my body, a partnership that really started to allow me to be honest with myself in a really real way. And then 2020 was a year where I became hyper aware of my thoughts. And the voice in my head was so intense and so loud. It was as if for the first time I was actually starting to pay attention how I was speaking to myself. And it was not good, guys. It was bad in there. It was really bad. And then I started to question, okay, if I'm talking to myself in this way, this does not feel right. Are these words really mine? Are these beliefs mine? What I'm telling myself is, do I believe these things to be true? Where are they coming from? They don't feel true. And if they aren't, what do I really believe about myself? And so needless to say, 2021 was really a challenging year of reevaluation. My thoughts were just incessantly involuting into one another, and they created a gravity and a density that just weighed me down. I felt so heavy that year, and I just wanted relief. I was fighting with myself, pushing it away. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to bring in these pleasure rituals, not because I thought they were working. It didn't seem like they were. And not because I wanted to feel pleasure, because a lot of the times I felt so bad, I didn't even want to give myself really anything good. But I had committed to calming my nervous system. And what these pleasure rituals were doing on a really subtle, deep level was that they were rewiring my cellular memory in my body. My body was being remembered. I was remembering myself, that as I stand here in my body, I am a living, breathing divine truth. And the real relief came when I made an admission to myself that year that I had not ever been tender with myself, that I was always so hard on myself. Perfectionism is a very real thing for me. Hashtag Capricorn life. If you know, you know. And so in the discomfort that I was feeling, I started to bring tenderness to myself by being compassionate to myself and bringing grace, which for me, grace is the space and time to be with what is right here and have it be okay. That I am going to be okay. In this process, I was able to meet myself where I was and give myself what I need and show up for myself. So to listen is an act of trust. Listening is an act of love, of self-love, of radical self-acceptance. And that's what we need more in this world right now, in this time of great change. I truly believe that we are at the end of a very, very, very long cycle of oppression of the divine feminine and an imbalance with the earth and with one another. And we are also ushering in a new consciousness, an elevated consciousness, awareness. And each and every single one of you here, because you are here during this time, are helping to bring in this new world. And sometimes if you look at the news too long, it seems like it's an impossibility and it seems really daunting. But I truly believe that it can be as simple as listening. So with that being said, that is what we're going to practice today. Connecting to the body, listening, and we're going to do that through a sound healing modality that I've created. It's like a mashup of things. I call it a sonic ritual. So it includes the bowls, the frequency of the crystal alchemy bowls, musical compositions, guided meditation, visualization / spoken word. Anyway, it's fun. And that's what we're going to do right now. So, thank you. Okay, everyone. So get comfortable. Readjust yourself in your seats. If you want to come to the floor, do what you need to do to get comfortable in this moment. We'll be here for about 10 to 12 minutes, just so we know where we're going. All right. Settling in where you are. Readjusting ourselves into the seat of the observer. Closing your eyes if you feel safe to do so, and if not, that is totally okay. Look down gently at your lap. Taking any final adjustments to be present. And inhale through the nose. And open mouth exhale. Inhale through the nose, from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. Push the air out of your body. Inhale through the nose. Fill the body with breath. Exhale. Sealing the lips and allowing your breath to become wave-like. There is a processing power within the breath, a distillation quality that heralds clarity, relieves the mind, and empowers the body for wisdom to be heard. Anahata is the Sanskrit word for the heart's energy, meaning the unstruck sound, the frequency of the eternal that perennially reverberates through the medium of life. Place one or both palms at your heart center in a gesture of receptivity. And affirm to yourself, in love, I welcome a partnership with my sensual body through breath. To listen is the first sensual experience we received in these earthly bodies, becoming acquainted with the heart's rhythm within our mother's womb. This sound is rooted in the interconnectedness of all things. Breathe, sweet one. Listen. Breathe. Breathe, beloved. Awaken. What sweetness awaits above the horizon of your subconscious mind? It is the rising sun of your will that releases from your body's tissues your desires, rendering themselves sublime. In this time of great change, where birth and death are fractals of existence unfolding into a flower of 1,000 petals, it is an honor to be here. To feel the pleasure of slipping into softening. This tender acceptance is a sacred submission to the divine that is of veneration and trust. A glorious reunion with an ancient, loving, knowing. Breathe, beloved. Breathe to be revealed. What tremendous love exists between the conscious spirit and the consciousness of the sensual body. A pairing of knowledge, a carrying of light, a wave woven into the set. Breathe, beloved. Breathe. and listen. Breathe here, beloved, and repeat after me. I am free to feel the discomfort of change. For my breath is a source of grace that holds space in the medium of my body. I am free to feel joy and pleasure. For it is my breath that is the source of love, that holds space in the medium of my body. I am free to slow my body and mind. For my heart is the true authority of time. Take these few final moments for yourself. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Receiving gratitude from yourself that you were here and you listened, you held yourself. And when you feel ready to return to this communal space, gently open your eyes. Thank you so much, everyone, for allowing me to hold space for you in this way. Thank you to the teams of Creative Mornings for inviting me to show up and hold space. It's an honor, it's a dream, and may you all savor your body's expression of joy. Thank you.